Imagine this, a grocery store where over half of the shelves are stocked with foods that barely resemble their original ingredients. This isn't a scene from a futuristic movie, it's a snapshot of our current reality. Ultra-processed foods, products that have been significantly altered from their original form with additives like sugars, salts, fats, and artificial flavors, now dominate the diets of millions worldwide. In the United States, for instance, it's estimated that more than 60% of the average adult's diet is made up of these ultra-processed products. From the cereals we eat at breakfast to the snacks we absent-mindedly munch on, these foods have become a pervasive, almost inescapable part of our daily lives. The rise of ultra-processed foods isn't just a dietary change, it's a cultural shift. In the pursuit of convenience and cost-effectiveness, we have ventured far from the nutrient-rich, minimally processed foods of our ancestors. This shift, while seemingly benign, carries with it a plethora of health concerns that we're only beginning to fully understand. In today's video, we'll delve into what makes these foods so appealing yet potentially harmful, and how this modern eating trend is shaping not just our meals, but our health and future. Transitioning from the alarming prevalence of ultra-processed foods, it's crucial to understand why they're not just popular but often irresistible. This irresistible nature stems from a powerful combination of psychology and biology. Ultra-processed foods are engineered to hit the bliss point, a perfect balance of salt, sugar, and fat that triggers our brain's reward system, much like addictive substances do. Consider the last time you opened a bag of chips intending to eat just a few, only to find it mysteriously empty minutes later. This isn't just a lack of willpower, it's a calculated response designed by food manufacturers. These foods create a cycle of cravings and temporary satisfaction, making it incredibly challenging to stop reaching for more. Moreover, our perception of these foods is often skewed by savvy marketing and labeling. A product branded as low-fat or zero sugar can give the illusion of being healthy, masking the reality of its ultra-processed nature. This clever marketing plays into our desires to make better food choices while inadvertently leading us further down the path of unhealthy eating habits. As we navigate through this complex food landscape, it becomes clear that our choices are influenced by more than just hunger. They're shaped by a deep-rooted psychological interplay between our brains and the foods we consume. Having explored the psychological allure of ultra-processed foods, it's important to peel back the layers and look at what exactly goes into these products. Ultra-processed foods are not just about the addition of salt, sugar, or fat. They're fundamentally altered from their original state. This alteration often involves a laundry list of ingredients, many of which are unrecognizable to the average consumer. These can include preservatives to prolong shelf life, artificial colors and flavors to enhance appeal, and texturants to create the perfect mouthfeel. Take, for instance, a common breakfast cereal. It may start as a simple grain, but by the time it reaches your bowl, it has undergone multiple processes: extrusion, shaping, baking, and then coating with flavor enhancers and colors. This transformation is miles away from minimally processed alternative like rolled oats, which undergo minimal alteration, preserving more of their natural nutrients. The production of ultra-processed foods is a high-tech affair, often involving complex machinery and processes to convert raw ingredients into the final, shelf-stable products. This industrial approach to food production is starkly different from the traditional methods used to create minimally processed foods. The latter usually involves simpler processes like cooking, drying, fermenting, or pasteurizing, which maintain the integrity of the original food source. This stark contrast between ultra-processed and minimally processed foods raises questions not just about our eating habits, but about the entire food production system that feeds us. It brings to light the importance of understanding not just what we eat, but how our food is made and the journey it takes from farm to table. The journey from understanding the mechanics of ultra-processed foods to recognizing their real-life impact is profound. Personal stories bring this issue to life. Consider Sarah, a working mother of two who often relies on prepackaged meals and snacks to feed her family amidst a hectic schedule. She's not alone in this struggle. Millions face similar challenges, juggling time, constraints, and budget limitations, making ultra-processed foods an almost inevitable choice. This reliance is not just a matter of convenience, but also a reflection of broader cultural and economic factors. In many societies, long working hours and high-paced lifestyles have diminished the time available for cooking and meal preparation, pushing ultra-processed foods to the forefront. Moreover, these foods are often more affordable and accessible than healthier options, especially in lower-income neighborhoods where supermarkets are scarce and fast food outlets abound. The story of Mark, living in a food desert, further illustrates this point. With limited access to fresh produce and a tight budget, his options are often confined to what's available. Heavily processed foods with long shelf lives, these personal narratives underscore a critical aspect of our food system. Dietary choices are not just individual decisions, but are heavily influenced by the cultural and economic environments in which we live. These stories highlight the need for a broader perspective on dietary choices, one that considers not only personal responsibility, but also the systematic changes needed to support healthier eating habits for everyone. The narrative of Sarah and Mark open a window into a larger, more concerning picture: the health implications of a diet high in ultra-processed foods. Scientific research has established a clear link between these foods and a myriad of health issues, ranging from the cellular level to entire bodily systems. On a cellular level, ultra-processed foods often lack the essential nutrients our bodies need to function optimally. Instead, they're loaded with additives and preservatives that can disrupt cellular processes. For instance, excessive sugar, a common ingredient in these foods, can lead to insulin resistance, a precursor to diabetes. This disruption is akin to putting low-grade fuel in a high-performance car. Eventually, the engine will falter. Moving up to the organ system, the impacts are equally alarming. The high levels of sodium in processed foods can lead to hypertension, stressing the heart and vascular system. The trans fats and saturated fats found in many of these products contribute to increased cholesterol levels, heightening the risk of heart disease. Picture your cardiovascular system as a busy highway. Consistent consumption of ultra-processed foods is like adding relentless traffic, eventually leading to gridlock in the form of clogged arteries. The consequences extend beyond physical health, affecting mental well-being too. Recent studies have shown a correlation between diets high in ultra-processed foods and increased rates of depression and anxiety. It's as though the brain, deprived of the nutrients it needs to regulate mood and stress, starts to malfunction, much like a computer running on a corrupted program. These health impacts are not isolated incidents, but part of a systematic issue linked to our dietary choices. The evidence is clear. The more we rely on ultra-processed foods, the more we compromise our health, from the smallest cells to the most complex systems in our bodies. This understanding is crucial in motivating a shift towards healthier, more nutrient-rich food choices. The stark reality of health impacts from ultra-processed foods leads us to a critical juncture. How can we shift towards healthier choices? The key lies in practical, manageable changes in our daily eating habits. Small steps can lead to significant health improvements over time. Firstly, start by reading labels. Look beyond the marketing slogans and delve into the ingredient list. If you find a long list of ingredients, many of which hard to pronounce or unfamiliar, it's a sign that the product is highly processed. Opt instead for foods with fewer, simpler ingredients closer to their natural state. Incorporating more whole foods into your diet is another effective strategy. Swap out processed snacks for fruits, nuts, or yogurt. Instead of a prepackaged meal, try cooking simple dishes with fresh ingredients. Cooking doesn't have to be time-consuming or complex. Many wholesome and delicious recipes can be prepared quickly and with minimal effort. Another tip is to plan meals in advance. Meal prepping can help resist the temptation of reaching for the nearest ultra-processed food when hunger strikes. It also gives you control over the ingredients and portions, ensuring a balanced and nutritious diet. And finally, educate yourself about nutrition. Understanding the basics of what your body needs can empower you to make informed decisions about what you eat. Remember, the goal isn't to achieve perfection, but to make more health-conscious choices more often. By shifting our approach to food, we can break free from the grip of ultra-processed foods. It's about making mindful, informed choices that prioritize our health and well-being one meal at a time. The pervasive presence of ultra-processed foods in our diets presents a significant challenge. One that impacts not only our personal health, but the well-being of our communities and future generations. The journey from the supermarket aisles laden with these foods to our dining tables symbolizes a deeper issue in our relationship with food, one that requires urgent attention and action. However, amid these challenges lies a powerful opportunity for change. Each of us holds the potential to make a difference, starting with the choices we make every day. By becoming more conscious consumers, opting for whole and minimally processed foods, and taking the time to understand the impact of our dietary choices, we can begin to turn the tide. This movement for change is not just an individual endeavor, but a collective one. Communities, policymakers, and food industry leaders all have roles to play in creating environments that support healthy eating habits. From improving access to nutritious foods in underserved areas to advocating for clearer food labeling and healthier school lunch programs, there are numerous avenues for impactful action. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What's one food item you're now thinking about replacing with a healthier alternative in your diet? Share your experiences and tips in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's video, check out this one next. Just don't forget to give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on your post notifications so you won't miss out on any of our future content. Until next time.